Famcast Media, bitch.
Little girl, I have no idea how you got up here. Look at everybody. Seriously, look at everybody. They're looking at you. Oh, hello there. Just want to let you guys know this next story is going to be rather enjoyable. You think you'll enjoy it? Yeah, you want biscuit or cookie? You hungry? Good evening, demons and demonesses. This is Kwame, and I'm back in the studio. Well, I know you guys haven't seen me in this room for quite a while, and that's mostly because I've been doing a lot of gaming in my living room. You know, just enjoying the space out there, spending time with my daughters, sitting on the couch and watching documentaries about serial killers and mass murderers and all that other crazy shit. Well, this story is kind of a little bit disturbing, but it ended quite well. Now, this story was sent to me by Harapinku Barbie. I've been following them for quite a while, and they post a lot of good stuff. If you guys want to check them out, I'll leave the link right at the bottom of the description, and, you know, the page right on the sidebar over here. So, check them out. If you guys feel generous, send them some gifts in Cash App. So the headline of the story that they sent me was "Man beaten up for telling group of trans women they should have female genitalia." Now, I've seen many, you know, headlines of this story. Some people try to portray these women as like gang members. You know, some people try to, I guess you can say, sympathize with the lad who got beat up. Now, I'm going to give you guys my take on it, but first, let's read through this together. 3 transgender women who kicked and stomped on a teenager. All right, I'm going to stop right here. I love how they call this guy a teenager. He was 19, yes, but 19 is a grown-ass fucking man. You're not a teenager. I'm tired of people always trying to do that shit. They try and make it seem like, oh, they're just a poor, innocent little boy. No, you're 19, you're a fucking adult, you act like it. After he told them they weren't women, have been spared jail. Well, that's a good thing. Tasman Lush, 29, Tyler Joe Bryan, and Amarna Lewis Daniel, both 24, attacked the victim, named only as Al-Shahib, after he told them they needed female genitalia to be women near Leicester Square tube station in London. Right, now, I'm going to try not to be biased here, but I can tell by the name of this guy, you know, what type of person that he is. You know, he's probably, you know, extremely religious, extremely conservative, and that's one of the reasons why he said the stuff that he said. Now, do I believe that you should be, you know, attacking religious conservatives? No, but it sounds to me like this guy was probably harassing these women. Lush drop-kicked him to the ground before the trio, who had been drinking nearby, continued striking him shortly after 2 a.m. on June 24th of 2018. Mother of 4, Hannah Bryan, 24, tried to break them up, but started trying to kick Al-Shahib too. Jurors from the Inner London Crown Court were told the victim had racially abused Hannah, calling her a black cunt, and refused to cooperate with police or give them a statement after the attack, prosecutor Jacinda Stringer said. She said Hannah Bryan, when she was interviewed, described that there had been a conversation with the young man where he had turned around and said, "You're not a woman, you need a fanny to be a woman." That, of course, started an altercation. Tasman Lush drop-kicked the male that had made that comment, and he went to the ground. The young man was on the floor, and these defendants stamped and kicked him whilst he was on the floor. Hannah Bryant came at a later stage and tried to pull them off, but was also seen trying to kick the male. The teenager was taken to hospital with severe abrasions and a black eye. The trio all pleaded guilty to violent disorder and were sentenced to a 6-month nighttime curfew, while Hannah Bryant admitted of the lesser offense, causing fear and provocation of violence, and was given a conditional discharge for 2 years. Lewis Daniel was also handed 20 days mandatory rehabilitation, including anger management therapy. Tyler Joe Bryan was also given a 12-month community service order. Judge Nigel Seed told the gang, "I accept that had it not been for the alleged victim in this case, there probably wouldn't have been an attack." Well, I love how this newspaper is referring to these trans women as like a gang. They were just 3 random trans women, just enjoying their time, having fun and whatnot. And you're accusing them of being gang affiliated. No, it's not a fucking. But maybe it's just like the language. Maybe it's like because whoever wrote this article maybe refers to a group of people as a gang. But other people would see the word gang and they think gang members, like Bloods or Crips and shit like that. But no, the 4 of you were subjected to extremely offensive, transphobic, and racial abuse. Had it not been for that, there would have been no violent disorder. I think this judge is on the right track right here. However, that does not excuse what you did. You went too far in your reactions, but of course, transphobic issues are particularly sensitive. This judge is rather lenient. He understands where these women are coming from. So I'm kind of liking this. Mr. Justice C continued, "It is a sign that the so-called victim realized how wrong he was by refusing to cooperate and not make any statement. I do not in any way condone your behavior, but I accept that what had happened to you at the beginning of the incident was entirely wrong and people like you should not be subject to that abuse in the public domain or anywhere." Now I'm going to start with the fucking judge, all right? This judge is an amazing fucking person, all right? I mean, he understood that these women were being attacked, but I think he also understand that this guy would like many other people who know anything about, the demographics of England. This guy was probably, believed in like fundamentalist Islam or some shit like that. Maybe a Salafist, maybe a Wahhabist. And people that believe in that specific sect of Islam are known to be extremely transphobic, extremely homophobic, and all the other, lowest common denominators and stuff like that. They're almost as bad as, conservative Christians here in the United States. And we all know how crazy those people can get. So, like I said, I'm glad the judge understood where these women were coming from. I mean, like I said, I'm not the type of person that, is violent or anything like that, but I do believe that everyone should have the right to self-defense. Now, here in the United States, it's very easy, to obtain a firearm, and unfortunately, we've lost so many trans women to, gun violence. Mostly, in 90% of the time, it's because simply for the fact that they are transgender. And, that's a really sad situation. And this is why, I keep telling people, if you see something like this, you got to stand up and do something, all right? You just either break up the fight, stop the argument, whatever is going on, especially if you know that that person is transgender. Now, these women, I have to say, I'm very proud of them for standing up and protecting themselves, because who knows what this guy would have done. We all know that, we have a certain demographic of people in the United Kingdom who, just like to randomly attack women in the street, who like to randomly attack members of the LGBTQ community. And, it's rather sad that this type of stuff happens. And, what if he had a knife? What if he, decided to put his hands on any of these women? All right? They did the right thing by putting this guy in his place, and the judge knew that this guy did the wrong thing because the guy, what's his fucking name? I don't even know. It's like fucking Al-Shahid. He knew that he did wrong because he refused to cooperate with the law enforcement. So he knew he's the one that triggered that fucking attack. He knew he instigated it. And the thing is this, if you go looking for trouble, that's exactly what you're going to find. He went looking for trouble with these trans women, and the trans women opened a can of whoop ass on him. He got his ass fucking beat. Now, I know a similar situation happened here in the United States. Couple years ago, there were these 2 men who claimed that the trans women were harassing them, and But to be honest with you, what happened was these guys were sexually harassing these trans women on the train. And what they decided to do was one of the guys put his hands on the trans woman, and these two trans women beat their fucking asses. Unfortunately, like, I think one of them ended up losing their clothes in the skirmish. Apparently one of the guys ripped their clothes off or some shit like that, and she was literally like fighting this guy naked. But either way, they kicked ass. And, you know, we're seeing this a lot more now. You know, a lot of trans people are, you know, saying, you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to allow you to bully me. I'm not going to allow you to intimidate me. I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me or put your hands on me. No, they're opening up the can of fucking whoop-ass. Now, when I first joined Twitter, I was recommended to follow this one page. Her name is Girl Draws Ghosts. She's an independent artist, and she also designs t-shirts. Now, one of the t-shirts that seems to be really popular right now is called the Pride Fighter t-shirt. And, you know, after reading this story, I need to get me one of those shirts. And I also recommend you check out her work as well. Basically, she's an independent artist. She draws all of this all on her own. You're supporting, you know, an independent and local artist. She's not working with this big-ass company or anything like that. And her designs are rather interesting. So I will make sure that I get one of these shirts. And guaranteed it won't shrink in the wash. Like most other shirts that, you know, you get from department stores or anything like that. Well, that's all I have to say about this. Kudos to all of the women that were involved. I'm glad you all stood up for yourself and to that, you know, punk that, you know, thought that he was being wise. You know, that's the thing about these people. These people think this guy thought that he was just going to say whatever the fuck he would. You know, he thought it was funny to say some shit like that and thinking there wasn't going to be any repercussions. And then all three of these women called 1-800 collect an ass whipping on him. And that's exactly what he fucking deserved. So, you know, be warned. You know, think before you open your fucking mouth. Alright, but that's all I have to say. You guys stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll see you guys next time.